no idea.
They're not really sure, and that's why something like that isn't going to catch the imagination of, of the nation. Whereas something like Deflategate will, because people don't understand a deflated ball, and we talked about the intrigue and the mystery and all that, and I mean, when we're comparing, professional sport with youth sport, it gets really difficult to muddle through it because maybe you can be a little. There's a tendency maybe to be a little bit more lax on the professional side, whereas on the amateur side, it's maybe a little bit more altruistic. Where
But we've seen enough coaches who want to win no matter what.
Yeah. And I think those are the coaches that need to be called to task.
Right. And again, back to my question.
And Chris is right. As far as we've improved things with the training and the level 1, level 2 coaching, training that we've all had. It's gotten better. It's not perfect by any stretch.
But is that the conundrum? Going back to what you were saying too. The more we play, the better we become, the higher the expectation, talking about what you're saying, and then we're this far away from the Holy Grail, from tasting the championship. Is it more enticing when you're that good of a player? Do you thinking what's next to do to win?
It is more enticing, but it boils down to, I think, the moral fortitude that you taught that kid when he first stepped on the field.
And I think the coaches too.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we have coaches now. I mean, I know that I've worked with coaches locally who I was coaching when they hadn't even started to play at the university level yet, and these guys are now coaches. And the quality that I see in these guys, because some of them I know their university coaches really well, and I know the systems they came through and the programs they came through, the kind of influences that they had, and I think it can be really positive out there. If the question, and I'd like to get back to the question that you posted sort of for today's show, is does this issue matter? Does cheating in sport matter? And I really think it does. And I think that sports matters. I really do. I think that kids need to play sports. And I don't care if your sport is curling or if it's tennis or if it's golf or it's whatever. There's so many sports that you could choose from. Javelin, whatever. There's a lot of value there, and I think that it does bring a lot of value to our culture, to our society, to our families, and if you're going to cheat in those environments, then find another environment. Do something else.
Well, if you're willing to cheat there, you're going to cheat when you get to work.
Yeah.
Right. And and I see it all the time. With my own staff, is you can tell which people. You can almost tell how they were brought up, because. They're willing to cut a corner to get a job done.
When you see a kid like that, do you spend extra time with him? Do you try to turn him?
I think it's incumbent on us.
Yeah.
To do
absolutely. Yeah. You mean a kid that's willing to cheat, like a kid absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Even at the university level, Steve, did you?
Yeah, I'm trying to relate. Do we have an example here? I mean, I think if it's cheating in my mind, then I have a moral responsibility to do something about it. So if an athlete is doing something that, in my mind, I know is wrong, it's not enough for me to let it go because I think it's going to help us win. Then I'm
right.
Then you're culpable.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Well, then Steve, you took your master's up in Ottawa U, sports psychology, and you're doing your PhD. But then a job came calling. Do you think that coaches should take, beyond the courses they have to take now in terms of how to control parents and all that, mandatory like sport development courses or psychology courses? Is there a need for that to help the coaches along?
I think it's important, but I think the biggest, certainly the biggest role that the coaching certification is to do with ethics.
Right.
In my mind, that's the one thing
that we have,
because we can disagree on the science of development and strategy and all that. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But we have to agree on the ethics of sport. That's the one thing I think that the NCCP should be, and I think it does, focus on the most, is trying to get some sort of consensus and core values across the board. That we should have an agreement and a consensus on.
Should executive directors of amateur sport leagues, even here in Orangeville, be certified in a certain way or take certain courses?
I think that'd be a great idea.
It would be
Yeah.
great. I mean, it's always a challenge when you're looking for volunteers, right? You're giving up your time, and now, hey, I want you to take even more of your time to go and get certified. It's a challenge. You know,
1 minute, Jack.
Yeah, we did it because we felt it meant something. I think it's something that we should strive for.
What's the one thing we got to go that maybe you would change about the coaching structure in Canada, or you'd like to see happen, whether it's with parents or with kids?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe just this idea. I mean, of spending more time on the philosophy of sport and understanding. I think the philosophy comes before the psychology, the biomechanics, the strategy, and all that.
Okay, guy.
Very
Jack,
simply-
real quick.
It's okay to lose.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's okay to
There's
lose.
opportunity in losing. Guys, listen. We're done. Steve Howlett, Jack Brooks, Bill Morrison, Chris Dickinson. Thanks, guys, for coming on the show and talking about this very important topic. We are going to wrap it up for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Davidson Live. Watch for us 2 weeks from now, where we go live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. We got about 3 more shows left in this season. I'll look forward to, hopefully, we're going to have some people on like Deanie Petty, Ed Cruson from Shelburne. He's running for the Liberal election. And also Sylvia Jones will be looking forward to coming on to the show. Anyways, that's a wrap for tonight. Good night.